Coming up tonight on News Channel 21 at 6, a rash of armed robberies at local businesses. The latest on 2 thefts that happened last night.
Plus, when the doorbell rings, you answer the door, right? Well, the Ben family regrets it after a stranger forces his way inside.
A major settlement after an inmate dies at the Deschutes County Jail. How much the family is awarded and what is different now for people in custody.
And the survivor of a triple shooting says his father took aim at him and his girlfriend. Tonight he tells us why he thinks it happened. Your local news starts right now.
Now, from Central Oregon's news leader, this is News Channel 21 at 6.
We're learning new information about the shooting that left 2 people dead and a third in the hospital. Good evening, I'm Lee Anderson.
And I'm Danny Freed. The survivor who was flown to St. Charles Bend is speaking out 24 hours after he was shot by his own father.
Pedro Quintana has been gathering the latest and joins us live at the hospital with the details. Pedro?
Jeffrey Ford has a long road to recovery after he was shot in the chest yesterday morning. Now, family and friends of the other victim who died are remembering her as a beautiful angel. A Sun River area man shot by his own father is speaking out about Wednesday morning's tragic events. Jeffrey Ford did not want to speak on camera, but says his father kicked down the door of his bedroom and pointed a gun at him and his girlfriend, Brandy Shopper. Ford said he called police. Minutes later, his father opened fire at him and his girlfriend, who was still in bed. Sheriff's deputies responded to a call of reported shooting around 11 in the 16,000 block of Mountain Sheep Lane. Ford, who was found in the street, was flown to St. Charles Bend. He was shot in the chest. He says the bullet missing his heart by 2 inches. Ford believes his father shot him because he could not get alcohol or any pills. Charlene Pickney says her daughter moved into the home 2 weeks ago with Ford, her boyfriend. She wrote a text saying her daughter was terrified of guns, and for her to go this way is not right. She ends with, "She is my beautiful angel." A family in pain as they lose a loved one by tragedy. Ford is listed in fair condition at St. Charles Bend. Now, we did get a phone call from the sheriff's captain who says the investigation is still ongoing and they may release more information in the upcoming days. We're live in Northeast Bend tonight. Pedro Quintana, News Channel 21.
For more details from Bend police on last night's deadly car pedestrian crash, which officers do tell us the pedestrian was hit by more than one vehicle. It happened around 6:30 last night on Northeast 3rd Street near the Bend Parkway overpass. 3rd Street was closed the rest of the night for a lengthy investigation. We'll have more details as soon as they're released.
And it's been a deadly week on Highway 97 as the Oregon State Police are investigating 2 fatal car crashes. Many of you have chimed in on social media asking, what is the Oregon Department of Transportation doing to make the highway safe for drivers? Public Information Officer Peter Murphy told News Channel 21 ODOT does have short and long-term plans for the northern part of Highway 97. The $4 million project would add new speed signs, better striping. Murphy said drivers also need to do their part and pay attention to the road.
We look at crashes that happen all across Highway 97. We've come to one conclusion, and that is that the highway itself is not the problem. There is no one place on all of Highway 97 where there are more crashes than any other. What that means is that a large contribution to the problems that we have is driver behavior.
Murphy said ODOT just recently finished adding a new barrier in South Deschutes County near Lava Butte. He said that barrier has prevented crossover crashes from happening.
A settlement has been reached in the Edwin Mays case. Mays died in the Deschutes County Jail from a methamphetamine overdose last December.
Mays' family alleged the sheriff's office neglected to provide Mays with proper care. The county has agreed to pay $1,025,000 to the Mays family.
$700,000 of that settlement will come from the county's risk management fund, and the remainder will be covered by the county's insurance. The county does not acknowledge any wrongdoing, and the sheriff's department issued a statement detailing changes that have been made to the jailing, including more full-time nurses on duty around the clock and using wristbands that monitor heart rates for inmates who may have medical needs. Turning to our forecast now, if you're hitting the roads this holiday weekend, you'll want to listen up. Emily Kirk says a winter weather advisory is in effect as the next storm is headed our way. She's tracking the latest for us tonight. Emily?
Well, Danny, that's right. Yesterday we were talking about this storm at the tail end of our model forecast and the possibility of the National Weather Service issuing an advisory. They've done so. That takes effect tonight at midnight and extends until 10 o'clock tomorrow. That's for all the purple that you see east of the Cascades, including us here in Central Oregon. The western slopes of the Cascades, that expires a little bit earlier than our advisory does tomorrow. And down towards the south, it's a winter storm warning in effect. And that'll include Willamette Pass if you're heading that way early tomorrow. Here's a look at the bigger picture. So that ridge of high pressure that we saw that gave us the nice sunny skies yesterday and part of today, it's moving well off towards our east. So showers are arriving just in the next few hours. Already rain showers arriving for the valley. It turns to snow tonight for Central Oregon. We'll time that out coming up in a few minutes. For now, I'll send it back to you.
A Bend couple had a big scare when their doorbell rang in the middle of the night and the man at their door pushed his way in.
Our reporter Jesse Foster spoke with the couple and is in studio now with more on the man, what he was doing there. Jesse, what did they tell you?
Danny, Lee, this couple was fast asleep in their home on Aberdeen Drive in Bend when this ordeal began. The police were just around the corner looking for the intruder. The natural response is to answer the door after you hear that sound. But for Steve and Lisa Kraft, they didn't open the door to a welcome guest.
Yeah. All he really needed, was a pocket knife for that matter, and it would have gotten a whole lot more real. So.
Thankfully, both Steve and Lisa are okay, but still remain shocked over the random encounter. 45-year-old Leonidas Herrera was reportedly avoiding police when he rang the Kraft doorbell just after midnight Thursday morning, asking the couple to hide him.
The doorbell rang, and Shelby started barking, and I got up and I went to my front door, and I look out, and there wasn't anybody to be seen. I was kind of wondering, is somebody needing to get a hold of me? So I opened the door, and he just came walking in, and I was kind of startled and taken back. It wasn't like I was holding my ground instantly. You're kind of wondering, because it was dark, I was wondering if I knew this fella. And once he had the door closed, he was like, bro, I'm in trouble. Can you help me, or I'm going to be arrested? Can you help me out?
Steve told me the man seemed agitated, strung out, and didn't blink at all once he was inside the house.
My first thought, as soon as kind of everything was a little more clear, I was like, no, you're going to get out of my house right now. And I was also, I started to get a little afraid because I didn't know if he had a knife or a gun.
The Bend Police Department had already received calls of this man knocking on doors in the neighborhood. They arrested him right outside the Crafts' home once Steve made him leave. The Crafts have both lived in Bend for over 20 years, and right behind me is their home. And they told me that more than anything, this is disheartening because it proves that Bend is not the small town that it once was.
We've been here a long time and we've seen it change, but this was up close and personal.
The Bend Police Department told me that Herrera was intoxicated and most likely confused. They also said in recent years, an incident like this is nothing out of the ordinary.
After just a split second, I realized that he doesn't belong here. And it was late at night, so yeah, we feel fortunate that it went off the way it did.
Lisa Kraft declined to appear on camera, but both Steve and Lisa wanted to tell their story in the hope it won't happen to someone else. The suspect, Leonidas Herrera, was in custody for criminal mischief, but has just been released from jail. Jesse Foster, News Channel 21.
Coming up, the search continues for a Prineville man who went missing earlier this month. We have the details.
Plus, some local drivers complained yesterday that the gas in their cars was causing them to break down. We now know why drivers may be getting that bad fuel. We'll tell you after the break.
And coming up at 6:30, several suspects have been arrested in a string of robberies in Bend. You're watching News Channel 21 at 6. We'll be right back.